All right, welcome to the meeting tonight. I had someone else in the waiting room and they just fell off. So we're gonna wait just a little bit and see. Yeah, actually Tracy just left too.
Oh no.
So welcome. We're recording, but we're gonna give it just a few more minutes to give people a chance to sign in. Good evening, Michael. Welcome.
Hi,
Hello, Michael. How are you tonight?
Hi, Marisa.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Pretty good.
Nice. Were you on ASP today?
Yeah, it was good. I really
It was
enjoyed
good.
it. It was really
I know.
good.
Every week is good, right?
Yeah.
I know. Every week we go through those hours. It's like, oh my goodness, so much talent in that group. I'm glad that you're involved and I see your face on there.
Yeah. I'm running out of ideas to post for educational posts, but I got some.
It's
other
okay, Michael. I like I like that you even try, so thank you.
Oh, you don't like the.
Oh yeah. You gotta start commenting with people, you know.
Oh, well, what if I put a post and no one comments?
Then tag somebody you think missed the post
Oh.
in the comments, or write your own comment.
I
Or
guess I could do
in the post, ask a question.
So maybe I should just start posting comments.
No, you are on a limit. But in your post, I want some questions sometimes to engage the audience. But I love you. Oh, ask some questions.
I could do that.
Yeti is in listening mode. Yeti, hi Karen, Martha, Karen, Clark, you look adorable.
All right, I'll try all this stuff. Okay.
Okay, Michael.
All right, we're just waiting a couple more minutes to give people a chance to get in, and we're
Nice.
gonna start, but welcome again tonight. I'm Wendy. If you don't know who I am, I'm the GPPA president this year, and we've been hosting these meetings every month to introduce our awesome speakers for convention. And tonight we have Marisa with us. She is speaking on social media and personal branding. And like I said, we're going to give it just a few more minutes, get a couple more people in here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, go ahead and type those into the chat and we will get to them. And I just wanted to welcome everybody. We're excited that you're here. We love doing these Zoom meetings once a month and introducing our speakers. And last month we went over our judges for Print Comp, and congratulations to everyone who entered and scored. I am going to do a quick call out to Tracy, our executive director, who is on the call tonight because she just earned her CPP this last week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It is so hard, Tracy. I'm proud of you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it was a process, but I'm glad I finished it.
You go, girl.
And just real quick, since Wendy's given me kind of the floor for a second, we are going to be putting all of the merit images up on the website next week for people to vote for their favorite. So that information will be going out.
Vote for me.
So
that's for the Katie Jimenez People's Choice Award, correct, Tracy?
Yes.
Yes. And for those of you that knew Katie, we renamed that in her honor. And it means a lot to all of us, and it means a lot to anyone that wins it, because Katie was really the heart of this association and everything she did for it. And we still miss her every day. So with that, I think I will go ahead, Marisa, and turn it over to you. Go ahead and
okay.
And go ahead and get started.
Well, hey peeps. I wasn't sure really what was going on here, so I guess I'm just going to talk to you guys about my sass, which is fine. I'm fine with. I'm happy with that thing, but please talk with me. I want to hear about you guys too, especially since I'll be presenting at your convention. And we're going to be virtual like this again, so we'll get comfortable tonight with it. My name is Marisa Balletti Lavoie. I live in Meriden, Connecticut. I've been a professional photographer for 14 years. My studio, The Sassy Space, this will be my 11th year open with my studio. I've gone through many evolutions of my business, but the entire time has one thing in common, is that I run it very intently and strategically and furiously via social media. I never really pay for advertising. I never have. The only time I've ever paid for advertising is to test the advertising. Like when Zuckerberg started to sell us ad space, I had to see how powerful it would be and also people's reactions to it. So I dabbled here and there with a $20 bet or test to see how Facebook ads would impact my business. And I never found it to be useful enough past what I could do myself. So I just really control my marketing. I mean, I control my business top to bottom. People who can have other people work for them, I love you. And I wish I was born like that. But I'm just like over here in my little sassy mouth bubble, running everything, creating these illusions that I have people that are helping me run this huge business and all these posts and everything that I'm always doing. But there is a system to it, and I've used it since day one. And I used social media for business since MySpace. I remember the first thing that I ever photographed, and of a portrait, you know, not like a plant or anything, but like a human that I took, and I took their photo of it and I put it on MySpace and I tagged them, because tagging goes back as far as the beginning of time. And with social media, and I tagged them, and then their people started to comment. And it was really like, as soon as that started to happen, I'm like, okay, I have discovered already how to tap into people's captive audiences. And I've always just played on that, on that every human that exists on social media has their own bubble and this own fan base and this own universe that exists around them. And at the beginning, when I would use MySpace and stuff, it was like my own people. So, you know, it was like my cousins, my brother-in-law, my sister, and they were all my family were my own people. But then I got to a point where I had tapped out on my own pool's audience. So I had to take somebody else's picture and then tag her. And I could see the spiral of how my business was getting well known with really minimal effort and not that great of work. And there was people messaging me all the time right away, can we do a photo shoot? And it's like, yeah, I'll take your picture. So that sort of all built up. And then I got my first real camera. I had been shooting with a Kodak, one that you used to put on top of the printer, and you put like squish it in and press print from the digital camera. But I got a Canon 30D, and I shot my first Sweet 16, and I broke the camera immediately. I crunched the pins. I had a panic attack, and I smushed it in the wrong way, and I shot the rest with my Kodak, and I went and bought a Canon 50D the next day. Felt like I wasn't ready for that 30D anyways. So I tagged that Sweet 16. I tagged those people, and it went crazy. It just was always like a effect, like rolling ball effect. And I didn't want to be the Sweet 16 photographer in Long Island, so I didn't keep doing more of those. But I could have, just from that one Sweet 16 and what I did with publicizing those photos. And ever since the beginning, I knew that if I publicized it and I made them feel like stars, and I tagged them up, and I used Facebook to get right into their own ponds, their own personal little areas, then my work would be seen. And even with all Facebook's restrictions and everything they've done to try to hold us back, there's still so many things that we're able to do. And every time I teach this program, I really should put my phone in the other room, because I know Mark Zuckerberg listens to me, and I'm one of his test subjects, and he'd pick it up. I will talk to my phone. I'll be like, dear Zuckerberg, I'm really sick of doing this. and having to do this to get to here. Can you fix it? And I know they watch me, and I know they know that I've been there since the beginning. And I'm a founder of social media. Like, I feel so connected with it. And I taught this program a couple of weeks ago somewhere, and some guy interrupted me and he goes, "This is really a labor of love, isn't it?" And I was so surprised by that, because yeah, my business is a labor of love. Like, my business it has all my love. I love my business. I stand so proudly behind it, that yeah, this labor of love that I know works. I'd rather spend my time doing something that I know works versus not spending the time and wondering why nothing's happened for me, when we have all these tools right in front of us that are free, that we're able to use, and they're all there. So I go over like top to bottom, not in depth of each thing, but pretty in depth of each step. I have a sort of high to low of importance pyramid in social media, with the top being Facebook. Facebook is my number one. That's how I really reach my people and reach into their souls and into their people's souls. And then Instagram follows how my Twitter updates, how I update all my different channels, and the importance of why I have to have all these channels. A lot of my Facebook pages are just grounding information pages that I don't update. My main Facebook page is my Sassy Mouth page. My real main Facebook page is my personal Facebook page. And that's only happened recently. Back 5 years ago, everything would have went on my Sassy Mouth page first. But now, because of the reach and things that are always changing in social media, I question, where should this post go? Am I trying to reach my colleagues? Am I trying to reach my friends and my family, my personal network, or am I trying to reach my clients? And even though they exist in both places, I need to know I need to think about which way to post it first, to sharing, liking, commenting, all that stuff, why it matters. We go over lots of that fun things. I have so much more to say, but I want to stop for a second. Anybody want to ask me something?
I'm loving your story so far. So
Oh, thank you, Tracy. I started off as a wedding photographer. I will have to say, that's how I knew I would get the most famous with actual clients. If I could tag one person in a photo shoot and get their people, if I could tag 19 people in a wedding party photo, I'd get all their people. So it's absolutely why I pursued wedding photography first. It was a captive audience. I could do my sassy floor show, and I could build my business. And those people at the weddings that I spent the time and made the effort to connect with, not just the bride and the groom, the people at the tables. Like, I love to do table pictures. I will walk around and harass a whole table and take all their portraits, and then they will remember me forever. And then they will like those pictures when I share them, and then they will come and like my page. And when I was doing the wedding photography, I was trending really like high turnover of new fan likes, because every sneak peek, I was able to invite hundreds of people to like my page. So I really just more now my studio, we went when all those wedding people had babies, then I took their pictures here. And then when I realized I don't like taking pictures of babies, I'm not really that into weddings, I quit all that. Now I mostly take pictures of adult women, grown-up women. I make them feel beautiful. I realize that's a talent not a lot of people have, is to photograph an adult woman and make her feel special and love the photos after, even not just feel special here during the experience of it, but love the outcome. So my business is definitely focused on working with adult females, and I do personal branding, boudoir, glamour, occasional wedding for $1 million. But that's the main thing that I do right now is help. And even the way that working with adult women has evolved into the personal branding, my personal branding clients, I've only ever had adult women, and I'm able to work through these things in their heads and get these big questions that we ask ourselves all the time but can't answer. So when I'm working with my branding clients and I'm asking these questions and I'm forcing them to answer me and really talk about it and be honest about it, that's when we can get to a place where their brand can be authentically and honestly portrayed online. So to work through the personal branding process that I do, the first half of my program that I'll be speaking on at the convention is social media. The second half is personal branding. So it's a little bit of my personal branding program and it's condensed down, but it is way more interactive than the first half. The first half is just facts about social media that I have discovered to be absolutely true. No ifs, ands, or buts about them. These work. And if you put the work in, they will work for you. The second half is going to ask you hard, bold, strong questions to decide your personal brand. And you will be able to answer the questions and be surprised by your answers, because it's not often that we answer these questions honestly. So there's a bunch of questions about yourself, about your brand. We talk about your brand message through colors and tonality, about how you're speaking online even, and that's into the social media too. Today, I made 2 posts for I have to do 6-hour social media program next year. I need a little more content. So I made 2 posts. One, I got my gold tube today. I placed in illustrative commercial. I had a top 10 in Northeast. So I got my tube. It was very exciting. I made a post that said, haven't got my loan books yet, but I got this tube, and it didn't do well. So I trashed it and I did, yay, got my tube, thumbs up, hearts across the board. So we talk about like your tone in your posts and the messages that you're putting out. And especially if your brand is upbeat and positive, you don't, like mine's sass and bold and happy and flirty, fiery, all uplifting. So to see a sadder or negative tone for me is startling to my people. It's not with my brand message. And yeah, I'm a human and we have ups and downs and everything, but that's not the tone that I'm throwing down on my page. And I have to be careful about that. So we talk about your brand, your brand soulmate, saying no to people, saying no to clients. It's very tempting to say yes to everything. I know it's very tempting to say yes to everything. You asked me 10 years ago what I photographed, and it was anything you put in front of me. I had a camera, I'll take its picture. Heck yeah. I say no to babies now. Really? Kids crack me up. But do I want to chase a 2-year-old in the park? No. That's not what I want to do. I would much rather work with a client that is suited to my brand, an adult female client, and make her feel beautiful than scream like an idiot for an hour chasing kids. And that's something I had to come to terms with, was that everyone isn't my client and my message isn't for everyone. But there's so many of the perfect people and clients out there for me, that if I'm willing to say no to the people that I'm sending the wrong message with, that the right client will be willing to work with me. And that's totally true. Right now, my number one client is exactly who I want it to be. And it took a lot of work and a lot of bravery to be able to say no to I guess the money is what it is. But when I said no to that money, I opened channels for my real business to start. And that goes into social media. On my Instagram, I will never show anything that I don't want to shoot. So there's nothing that I wouldn't want to produce on my Instagram. And on my Facebook, a sneak peek is part of it. Even in my PDFs, I mentioned a sneak peek. And going back to MySpace, and I earned my craftsman degree on this program called Sassy Mouth's Guide to Hustle, Volume 1. Hilarious. It was nothing but I was just so funny. But I had a slide that came in and up and it said, I invented the sneak peek on MySpace and I dare anyone to question it. And I would be quiet for a minute, like we're going to start a rumble. But nobody has fessed up to it yet, because I know that I harness that power so early on in social media, and I still use it. And now I use my sneak peeks on social media as a package deal, a sweetener. So they're listed as something that they'll get, you know, they get whatever the time frame is of the photo shoot and the digital sneak peek, the watermarked online sneak peek to brag with. Because I want it to be posted as much as they want it to be posted. And there's now when I ask about it at the end of their shoot, because I always make sure that I get like permission or whatever it may be to post online and share online. And I'll say, I do a sneak peek. Are you interested? And the majority of my clients, not only are they interested, but that's part of why they came, is because they want to feel famous on my page. They want to feel like they're part of the story of being involved in my brand, because that's how I built my brand. I've done nothing but involve my clients in my story and make them feel part of it. And they love that sneak peek. They feel like a celebrity when I post that. And then they share it and they talk about the experience of it all. And it's just, I don't need to pay Mark Zuckerberg ever. and on the subject of the sponsored posts, you tell me when a sponsored post comes up on your timeline and you see that sponsored on it, your first instinct isn't, they paid for this. And it's true. I feel that way when I see one come up. I go, okay, so it wouldn't make me go. There's nothing about it that is appealing to me, knowing that somebody's paid for that space that in the good old-fashioned days would populate naturally before we had to pay for Facebook, you know, before it was traded. So sponsored posts have like an icky feeling attached to them too, I guess is what the bottom line of that is. And in my program, I'm going to teach you ways to get your ball rolling without having to pay for it. Because I've seen mediocre results at best and never found the need to invest in Facebook's pocket any more than what I'm able to do myself. And we talk about stories, because Instagram and Facebook stories all have pros and cons to them. Instagram, if you're not on Instagram as a photographer, I'm not sure why. Instagram is nothing but photo based. It lends itself to the scroll. People love to sit there and scroll. And I talk about hashtags, why hashtags are important, exactly why you should be using hashtags all the time to file yourself into the internet, and how things can be searched, how things can't be searched, and all of that fun stuff. But I'm going to take another pause. I love all your faces. Hi, Charles.
Hello.
You guys look cute. Anybody
So
have questions?
I have a question. Do you use a program to do the auto posts, or do you do them yourself?
If I have a lot of content that's already pre-done, it's not often that I have lots and lots of content to post for the future, you know. Where I'll use auto posts are, okay, so if I have the content, for the most part, I live in the now. I live seasonally. I live by what I'm making currently. Auto post though, one October, I scheduled 31 days of past Halloween work. And I just scheduled them right in Facebook scheduler. And every day I knew that some Halloween post was dropping and I didn't have to worry about making content. Other ways I've scheduled posts with an event. So when we had NEAP, the New England Institute of Professional Photography, they voted me in as VP of Communications. The day they voted the thing to shut it down, I was like, oh my God, the first message I have to post is we're closed. Like I couldn't deal with the thought of that. So like it went back and forth and they decided to hold the school. So we're gonna have NEAP and we're gonna let Marisa do whatever she can do. And like they let me really just go for it. They let me redo the logo. I needed at least like 5 sample images from each speaker. And then I made them each a magazine cover, you know, like neat with their thing, with their name and the date. So from our 10 or 11 speakers, 5 graphics each, I had like enough content to post the crap out of this thing for the month I had to sell it. So I just scheduled those posts every day, like every Thursday, 2 of them went up. Every single day, 2 went up because I had 10. So I had 5 weekdays to do it, because people don't check social media for business on weekends. It's not a real thing. I sure don't. And I know that all people that are in business hold work hours, and we hold our work hours are our weekdays. So I never operate my social media besides pictures of me in bathing suits on the weekends, because I don't care about my business on the weekends, and not a lot of people do. So Monday to Friday, that's when I make my posts. That's when I schedule them. Only weirdos like Brian Welsh like Saturday. He asked me to post some things on Saturday. I'm like, no one's there, but whatever, I do it because I'm nice. But like, I don't like Saturday stuff. And I was able to schedule that whole thing that month. They were dropping all the time. And then anything I needed to fill in, or like, it was all there. It was all written out so I could share it to my page. I could tag people on the board. And sharing and tagging and commenting is as important as making the post. If you're not putting any activity on the post, and I have a great graphic in my program that illustrates this so well about why you can't make a post and leave it for dead. You can't make a post and just hope that all your people have been waiting for you to make this post forever and they're going to love it. You have to share it. You have to comment. You have to try to tag relative people in it. Share it to your own page. Tag anybody in it. Yeti that is on this call, he's a social media dropout of mine. I'm his mentor for ASP right now. But I told him he had to do all this, and he's been hiding out. But he started right away, and he took just some like basic great tips. And he changed, like, on his profile, there's places where you can put where you've worked. Tag your page in it so people don't have to wonder if you're connected to that business. And make sure your like website, your Instagram, all that stuff is in there. But then when I make a post on my Sassy Mouth page, I give it some time before I share it to my personal, but it's getting shared to my personal page. I also sign my posts. I talk about this in my program. I sign my posts. This has given me the biggest freedom in everything. And I sign my posts that I want to be from my heart on my business page. XOXO Marisa, Queen of Sass, craftsman photographer, because I'm so proud of my degree, and my website. And that's my signature. When I don't want people to know it's from me, when I want them to think it's from the House of Sass or an intern or whoever could be working here running this crazy business with me, I don't sign it. I leave it generic, because I found that read a post from somebody's business page, even if it's yetiportraitartist.com and you're on Yeti's page, read the post and see what kind of voice you put in your head, because it's whoever you think could be writing this post, not necessarily Yeti. We don't know unless you've given it the clarity. And I discovered this with like a radio DJ. So who knows who's typing that post from a radio station? And then one day the DJ signed it. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I hear their voice in my head. And I definitely know this is their standpoint on this post, and this is who it's coming from. So by signing my post directly from me, my clients have no ifs, there's no questions. They know this is coming from my heart, from my brain, from my fingertips, wherever it may be. And then I'm standing behind this post as Marisa, Queen of Sass, and giving myself a title within my business and not getting lost within my business of Sassy Mouth, because my Sassy Mouth business could be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to stop at photography. I can have Sassy Mouth, I mean, like wine and cups and clothes and why not, if that's what I want to have, because this brand is really limitless. So making myself something within the brand that is personable, relatable, that people can talk to, instead of letting myself get lost inside this big sassy mouth universe that I'm making, is what has leveled up my brand and made me be able to connect to my clients more without them knowing it's from me. Then they don't know. It's given it such a more personal tone to talk. And sometimes I'm just selling crap. Sometimes I'm selling t-shirts, and sometimes I'm selling prints, and sometimes I don't want to write why this matters to me. I just want them to freaking book the photo shoot or whatever. So I don't have to make myself crazy every time making these posts, because sometimes they can just be super generic and to the point and sales pitchy, and that's what that is, because it's not signed from me. So of course a company would do a sales pitch, why wouldn't they? But Marisa needs to be nicer, sweeter, sassier, myself, exactly who I am. Marisa, from hidden within my company, I can just be like, buy this shit and drop the link. That's so funny. Oh my God, talk to me, somebody. I love all your faces. We should do a group picture. Don't let me forget.
All right, Marisa.
Hi.
Hi. Now, according to Tracy and Wendy, I'm not actually here.
I didn't say you weren't here.
You're right there.
Wendy, you and Wendy have both texted me like, "Oh, I see you got on the call," and I'm like, "No, I'm not. That's not me."
You did come in a different name though, and now you're GPPA.
Yeah, I have to run our Friday planning meetings, and so to do that, I have to be on that account. And I always forget to sign out. So
I feel
anyway, the one thing I wanted to tell you that I hadn't gotten to tell you today was congratulations on your top 10, and then of course you announced it. I thought that was really cool. But I'm trying to find questions that wouldn't necessarily impact the convention. So and if I missed this, I apologize. I was trying to fix my dinner. It's sitting over here and I haven't eaten it yet. But where did Sassy Mouth come from?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you. Once upon a time, my Nana deemed me Princess Sassy Mouth. So that is directly from her, and sort of like pays homage to her, and she's my biggest #1 fan. She passed away in 2009, but she possesses me all the time. So she's still here. And when I was naming my business, I asked my mom, what should I name it? And she said Sassy Mouth so quick. And it was like, I had so many mixed emotions about Sassy Mouth, because it sets a certain standard, I suppose, that I will always have to live up to. But I'm very fortunate to have went with Sassy Mouth, because it encompasses everything, and does have the branding potential to be so big. And it was the best crazy thing I could have ever done, was name my business Sassy Mouth. I'm never happy with the logo though, but when it all comes back to it, it just needs to be lips, and I need to deal with it. But Sassy Mouth is a special little entity. And I did let people start to call me sassy. Like at weddings, they would just be yelling it.
Yeah, you and I had two completely different experiences shooting table shots.
Yeah.
Where you enjoyed it. I hated it.
Yeah, not a lot of people like it, and I can understand why. Like, I'm an extroverted introvert, like I'm very outgoing and whatever when I gotta turn it on. But for the most part, I sit up in my house and I'm alone with my computer, and we're friends, and me and my husband, we talk, but we're quiet. And the tables is like the perfect example of that. That's like, I have to stand there and I'll look at him, and it's like right before dinner served, when there's nothing to do, after the first dance and before they're eating, when the tables are still clean, So I know I have like 10 minutes or whatever before they're gonna have food in their mouth or messy tables. And I'll look at him and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And he's like, you got this, honey. And I'll just go. I hit it. I did an event yesterday. I'll tell you about it next because they all had masks on, which was fun. But I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And I hit the first table and I'll look at whoever, a couple, I try to find the one with the most obvious couples. And I'll look at two and I'll stand there with my camera and I go, you two love each other. And no matter what, they're going to say yes or they're going to say no. And either way, we're going to laugh. And if they say no, I'll say, well, can you act like it for a picture? And then I take their picture and we're all laughing. Now my table's all smiles. So then I turn to the next couple and I look at them, I point to them, and I'll squint or I'll wink. And they'll get together. And then I'll look, before I take that picture, I'll look to the next one. I go, and you're next. So get it together. And then they're laughing again. So like right now, I've got this whole table happy. And if there's any single people, if it's a girl, I'll never be fresh. I'll just say, just look beautiful. And she'll pose or do whatever cute girls do. And if it's a boy though, I'll go, does anybody love this guy? And then some people will get close to him that's at that table. And so there's bound to be somebody that loves that guy. If not, everyone at the table hugs him. And I've always been proud of how fast I can do them when I get to doing them. Cause I'll take that 10-minute timeline and I'll shoot those 150 people in that ballroom and everybody's getting a freaking portrait. And I made myself famous on those wedding things. Even those table pictures. My most recent wedding, I sneak peeked every portrait from the table. And I made sure to put that in the write-up, was that like I included everyone's table portrait. Please tag yourselves, use them as your headers, whatever you need to do, share them, because they were also, they all just want a picture of themselves. They like that couple, I guess, but they got all dressed up. This is the thing that people have with weddings. They think they're important. Like my mom worried for months about what to wear to my cousin's wedding. I was like, literally no one cares what you're wearing to my cousin's wedding except you, yourself, and you. And that's it. So I just like know that everybody sitting there has put work into their outfit, put those shoes on, got themselves dressed up. And the least I can do is acknowledge that they look cute and take their freaking picture. And even when I would sell the weddings, I would tell them I do table pictures. I know it's very taboo and not a lot of people like to do them, but like I excel at them and I always did them. There's not a wedding I've ever done that I didn't do tables. I've shot almost 400 weddings. I did all those table pictures. Hi, Michael, what's up?
The question I have is, I use hashtags, but how would you come up with unique hashtags and try to be successful with those hashtags? Like for instance, some hashtags have like 1,000 hits, but some only have maybe 40. I just want to know what techniques do you use to create unique hashtags?
Oh, well, I'm sorry for all you guys that are coming to my program. They have to listen to this twice, but I'm going to tell Michael. I use broad ones and specified ones, and I use ones that I create myself. So I embrace those large number ones for what they are. Yes, I want some large number hashtags involved in my hashtags because I want the hits that those big numbers get. And then I want some of those smaller, more specialized local ones that are just talking about your state as a photographer. Like I'm in Connecticut, so CT photographer. I want some of those specific to my business, but then I also want the ones I've made that are just to my business. So it's a variety of using a combination of all of them. You have a 30 hashtag limit. I use them all.
Yeah, you talked about this. I just want to refresh, and I think
yeah.
Okay.
No,
good.
yeah, no. What I just said is a little bit more than I usually say because you asked it a bit more specifically. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I definitely use a combination of all broad and specialized hashtags. And I use hashtags on my personal page, I don't use them like I do for business. On my personal page, I'll throw 1 or 2 in because I want my posts to be involved in those hashtags I'm creating in those encyclopedias, which we talk more about. But on my business page, I use them all, as many as I can, because they're so important. They're so important to have your stuff cataloged online.
Yeah, okay, okay, good, thanks.
Just start using them, Michael.
I just want to start inventing new ones, is just trying to be even more creative. That's what, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, inventing hashtags and like quirky hashtags, I got no place in my life for them. Those like I used to think they were funny, and I'd make long-winded ones on Twitter that almost took up all 140 characters, and it'd be all hashtags, and it's like a sentence. That's so stupid. So I just use my own that have been used by myself and ones that exist in the universe. But I don't try to make up quirky, like new hashtags and try to get those famous. That's not on my to-do list, you know?
Yeah, I try to keep it simple. I try to make it sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Problem
guess-
is nobody actually searches for quirky ones because you're coming up with it on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody's scrolling through like well, so my hashtags, like my sassy mouth photo. If I do have a client on Instagram that is interested in my business, in my post, that sassy mouth photo is probably definitely one they'd click on to see my past work that's associated with this hashtag. Now, like sassy mouth life, that's all home stuff, not necessarily would that be something I want a client to click on, but I want that organized for myself. So I make sure to put that on posts that it makes sense for. And clients will look at your things. I had a bride one day yelling hashtag sassy mouth life all day. And it's like, you crazy lady. But like she wanted her day to be part of hashtag sassy mouth life. So she's yelling it. And they do like your personal ones, but those personal ones have to be consistent, and there can't be thousands of them. Like I have like 5 main ones. I have sassy mouth photo, sassy mouth magic, sassy mouth life, sassy mouth style. Those are my top 5. If I'm using the hashtag to catalog a post that I want under any of those personal hashtags. Other than that, I'm using things I want to be searched with. Connecticut photographer, CT boudoir photographer, branding photographer, CT branding photographer, Connecticut photographer, all those sort of local broad terms. And then on the biggest broad level of it, I'm using my brand words: bold, fresh, fiery, original, independent, sassy. And those are huge. Those have huge, big counts on Instagram and stuff. Those have millions, if not hundreds of thousands or whatever it is associated with them. But my work is that. And I want to make sure that my work is associated with all of those words and categorized with them. So that is why I include those big, broad search terms in with my hashtag set. It's because I am those. That is my brand. I want those words seen every time possible. And I want to be associated with them in social media world.
So Marissa, I've got another question.
Yep.
Do you do TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, so I knew that you did. I didn't know if anybody else knew that you did.
Heck yeah.
I'm relatively new to TikTok, but actually you're don't take this the wrong way. I never saw a single image of yours. I just watched you, and I watched you on Facebook, and purely on your personality alone is the reason I asked you to come to convention. And I mean, I trusted that your work was going to be great, but I was like, we just got to have her.
Oh, stop it. You're such a good judge of character.
So I guess the the photography related question would be, has TikTok helped your business? Because I know TikTok's a younger generation thing, and you're talking about catering to adult women.
And
And
that's
how
very
many,
interesting. I mean, it's such a good question. TikTok is the only place online where I'm not represented as a photographer. And I that is in my program. I talk about TikTok a little bit towards the end because it needs to be talked about. And I appreciate you booked me for my personality. When it all comes down to it, my Queen of Sass brand as myself is going to be my strongest entity within the Sassy Mouth. But I had to build a business, a very strong business, before I could move forward with pursuing that as my main channel. Because at the beginning of time, when I'm inventing sneak peeks, of course I saw the opportunity to be an influencer before it was called that. But I learned early on that jackets from Torrid do not pay your bills. And companies would send me clothes, and I do photo shoots and stuff because they want the content, right? But that was the deal, was the clothes. And it's like, I cannot pay my bills on clothes. So I can that, and I decided to make a really strong business on a strong foundation, great word of mouth, great service, everything that I was able to do. Being a photographer, I never expected that to even be part of it. Being a photographer is how I've been able to do everything I've ever wanted to do, including be an artist and be able to speak in an industry like this with people. I didn't see the opportunity anywhere else besides the photography industry. So I pursued photography full force, have my studio, love my people, but TikTok is a look into the other way it could go. The TikTok saved me during the Rona. I mean, I was like, my husband went into work every day. I was his house pet. I would cry to him. I'm like, I feel like I'm your house pet that just sits around in her robe and makes you dinner, and your life is the same and mine's completely different. And at least I have TikTok, and I'd be crying about it because it gave me like a purpose. It gave me a something, a different, as a social media person who just loves it. Like I love when I see Zuckerberg is changing something. Like I can see it right away. I'm like, oh, he's effing with the videos now. I know he's messing with groups or events or whatever he's messing with. Like I love it. And as a social media like person, a connoisseur, somebody who eats it up and loves it, I saw TikTok as this great thing. And TikTok really, like, it changed a lot during the Rona because a lot of people joined the platform, but it only changed towards being more embracive. And I really like that. Like I love when everybody's able to like create content together, and TikTok's hilarious. There's nothing else on the internet that can crack me up more consistently and hold my attention. I'll be up in bed. This is when I do my Instagram at night. I put my husband to sleep at 10 o'clock. We do night time. I put my earbud in and I get my phone out and I do my Instagram and I just scroll and I do all my Instagram work. And then I go on TikTok if I want to be up till 1:30 laughing like an idiot. So like I have to hold my TikTok time like apart now because I don't have time. Like during the Rona, I was Sleepy Princess Pet. I could do whatever I wanted. I was TJ's house pet. I'd stay up till 2 watching TikTok, save the ones I want to do. And now I have to go to bed a normal hour again, back to business. But I have to decide, am I ready to fall down this rabbit hole and be obsessed with this platform for 3 hours, or am I not going to do the TikTok tonight because it's so engaging and there's just something about it that that videos can only be a minute. They did move it to 3 minutes, but not a lot of people are partaking in that because that minute long is so like, you're not investing in anything longer than a minute. And it's if it catches you within the first couple seconds, you're probably going to stick with it to see what's going to happen. So I wanted to learn about the caption. Like the captions mean as much as the words you put on the actual frames. And the changing the pace of the frames in it, that adds to the algorithm. And this is the first like platform where the algorithm just is absolutely bonkers. There's no way to track it. There's people who are TikTok famous because they think they can teach about it, but there's no rhyme or reason to anything. Like things get 7,000 views, things get 160. That's the way it happens sometimes. And I had my first one get like 125,000, and it was a video of my shampoo bottles. I'm not even kidding. All this work I put into it, and a video of my back stock of shampoo got 125,000 views. And honestly, I'm going to parlay that into a sponsorship with Mane and Tail, because I use Mane and Tail to be the prettiest pony in the show. And I'm going to show them I'm a great spokesperson and help them with their branding, because they're using some man and a blue horse head on TikTok, and his hair isn't even blowing in the wind. What? If that man horse is going to be your person, put him in a nice blue suit. And every time you show that horse, there better be wind in its hair. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to pursue Mane and Tail to get that sponsorship. But I'm almost out of those shampoo. So all I can think every day is that I need to show it on TikTok to make these people crazy. It's so funny. And I thank you for bringing it up, because it's worth checking it out if you need to laugh at the internet. And it gets to know what you like and like what you double tap and stuff. So it'll only start to show you like things that you like. And sometimes you go down, you get stuck on a TikTok. Like I was on Disney TikTok for a while and just watching people at Disney World. And I was fine with that for a little while, you know? And I get on plus size clothes TikTok all the time. I watch girls trying on clothes all the time. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Thank you for bringing that up. You're really cute. Dang, I'm glad I wasted all this time becoming a photographer to get booked on my personality.
I miss that TikTok video.
I know, Yeti is a fan.
Can we see that?
No, you can go to my TikTok though and watch it.
I'm trying to find it.
It's
This is oh my God, she's not kidding. It's really just
it's my shampoo. Mane and Tail.
There it is.
Blurring it out like it's bad. You're
Oh,
so funny.
Oh well.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
all
too
my
close
shampoo
to Vaughn.
bottles. I know, it's okay. Because you're
In my defense, Marissa, I did know that you bust your ass for ASP as well.
Thank you.
So I know that you're a hard worker. I already knew backstory behind you. I just, my thing was you're too much fun not to have. So
And
of course, she's going to be here for virtual instead of in person.
I know it.
Oh no. I know. I'm so much fun in real life.
She's my mentor, my mentor in ASP.
I ratted you out that you've been avoiding me.
She's giving up on me.
I am not giving. My ASP mentor is the best. Oh my God. My ASP mentor is worth $1 million. Oh, I love Chris Richmond, and she's helping me finesse my case for IPC, and it's just like, it's beautiful. Oh,
Michael, you had another question?
Well, and I want to do a group picture before everybody leaves, so don't leave.
I wanted to make a comment. I really liked working with John LaBarge at ASP Mentorship. I feel like I feel like this has really helped me more than anything in, NDPPA, but I think that I feel like it made, like I've really accomplished something. That's just a comment I want to make.
Yeah, I agree, Michael. That should be your next post in ASP, please. Is how beneficial your mentorship has been, because I was mentoring Yeti and I gave up on him, and also and I had another student who wanted to learn about YouTube, and I mean, in a couple of weeks we kicked his YouTube's butt. He's getting hundreds and hundreds of views now, and he had to leave me too. I was too much for him. But ASP mentorship program, I'm chairperson of social media for American Society of Photographers, they recruited me before I had my degree. They were like, dear Marisa, can you run all our marketing for our gala in 2020's imaging? That's when I was getting my craftsman degree. So I helped do their posts and everything for their parties. And then I got my craftsman. And about 2 weeks later, they asked me to be chairperson of their social media. And then we went into lockdown, and it was like, what am I going to advertise? What are we going to do? And we started doing weekly Zoom programs with ASP, and really they brought the association together more than anything, being able to like visit with each other weekly in such a strange time, and like get to know each other in an organization that's always been stretched across a continent and never brought together virtually. So it was actually a huge benefit for us at ASP to be able to unite and get to know one another over this past year. And ASP really is doing some amazing stuff now. I'm excited to be a part of it and proud to be a part of the whole organization. Like that.
Awesome. Well, we have just a couple minutes left. If anyone else has a question or a comment, you can raise your hand or type it in the chat. But I think you shared some great stuff. I'm excited for your program. I'm really bad about doing social media for my business, and it's something I really want to start doing more. So I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us. Javon, do you have anything else?
No. Well, I mean, of course, my committee meets in the morning. In case you guys didn't know it, if you entered anything into print competition, it was challenged. The audio is now up and live. So just go to printcompetition.com and you can listen to the challenges. As long as, you know, it's like not one of my images. So I try not to eat before I listen to my challenges. Anyway, that's about it. I mean, Marisa, I'm psyched that you came on tonight. I'm really psyched that you agreed to come to our convention. I hate that it's virtual, but it's the way of the world right now. And hopefully we can have you back when it's actually in person again.
Yeah, and I hope to see a lot of you guys at imaging, right? People go there.
So the convention's virtual this year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it is virtual.
Well, yeah,
we are offering a VIP where you can come and do a hands-on program each day in different locations. So there'll be more information about that shared soon, but we're excited about it.
Yeah, the idea is that we're doing kind of, I don't know, I get caught up in Saturday Night Live, and the idea is we're doing like exposed live online from around the state of Georgia. And so we're going to be hitting different studios each day to where we can actually have like tours, on-site events. But the idea is that while you're at the studio, you have the watch parties for the speakers and the talent and things like that. So it's going to be different. We had to make decisions to make it virtual early on in the year before we knew that everything was kind of calming down. And now that we know that things have kind of calmed down, we're trying to add back in some where we just get together again, because we all because I'm stuck in the South. I don't see any of you guys, you know, and I miss my Tracy time and I miss my Wendy time. And I'm looking forward to seeing people again.
Aww.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting everybody too in all associations. So we just got to do one thing at a time.
Well, we're excited. And like I said, there'll be more information about that. We've been meeting monthly or weekly, actually, at this point, trying to make sure we get all those final details in. And Marisa, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Take a picture.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, everybody sit up.
Just their names. Turn on your cameras.
Turn on your cameras if you would like to, because I'm going to take a class picture.
I don't have any makeup. I ran out.
Oh my God, Yeti. I'll take one from your other class. Oh, there you are.
Here we go.
Here you go. Oh, yay.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Kevin. I know you're here. Ready? Okay, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay, good job. I'm proud of you. Thank you for inviting me to talk. I was worried about that hour.
You did a good job.
No problem. Oh my
Thank
God.
you,
Good
everyone,
job.
for joining
Good
us.
job, Marisa.
Yes, thank you,
Thank
everybody. Have a
you.
great night. See you soon.
See you soon,
Bye.
guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Uh,